Hello, welcome to a Friday stream, Video Game Town. I'm Grant Bruner. I'm the editor-in-chief of Video Game. That is a '90s lady,
It's
aka
a Metroid.
the shirt of Jared. Oh, that's Samus.
Yeah, it's a
Oh, I
Metroid.
can see I can see the Metroid now, but
Yeah,
yeah, I didn't initially see the Metroid, so it just looked
yeah,
like a lady
Samus.
skating. That's
Yeah.
Jared Russo, Chief Content Officer, um, head head gaveler. I feel like you haven't done it on the podcast. Gotta bring it back.
Okay.
Hashtag bring it back. We're playing stuff. Have you ever played Final Fantasy Tactics?
Yes. A very long time ago, I played it on the PS1 for like an hour, and I was like,
This
I
is
was
sick.
I was a much younger man, and I was not into the breach and like strategy stuff, so I'm much more open and willing.
I am ready.
I've also played like the first hour of the original FF7, FF9, an hour of Final Fantasy 13. Like I've played like little
It's
chunks of
time.
all these different FF games, and I always come back with Kingdom Hearts though, and I play through all the Kingdom Hearts.
It's like I don't dislike Kingdom Hearts, but it's like
such as these in the wood.
so this we were playing Final Fantasy. I don't know the name. Final Fantasy Tactics: The Evil East Chronicles.
Crystal Chronicles.
This is a remake of the PS1 game. It's now fully voiced, and the animations are flushed out.
Some of us prefer fiends in a wood to a dull watch.
And I think the
in
voice
Castle
acting is really
Gavin's
fucking
saga.
good.
And some of us are not so quick to jape in danger's
That's
face.
good to hear.
Like, it can get really especially this style of writing
Enough
of
talk.
like
They come.
it's not Old English, but it's or like it's kind of like evoking old timey English. So that can get really fucking tiring, especially if you have to hear it. Like if they were like, "The king doth both," like sucks. That shit sucks. But this is good. Like the translation's good. The voice acting is good.
Victory is
That's
mine.
great.
I have like played. I don't think I ever beat this game. The
Easy
like
prey.
the original. It's the like
Right.
the PSP like the WL version. But I never beat it. But I did like it. I was a Final Fantasy Tactics Advance person. I fucking love Final Fantasy Tactics. I played it so much. I got it the same day that I bought my GBASP. So I had a regular GBA, and then I got a GBASP, which has a better form factor, has the backlight, or it was the front light technically.
We all upgraded.
And it was just like, oh, well, this is the best fucking video game thing I've ever owned. This is so fucking good. It might be like
It's still number one.
I think it's Nintendo's best handheld.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I really loved the GSP.
So this looks really nice. Can you rotate the camera to get the tree out of
can.
the way? Oh, okay. All right, good. That's a
Yep.
great sign.
Yeah, so this is really like useful, especially because like so you see over here where there's like different heights of stuff,
Yeah.
and that can get blocked by the camera. So you definitely do need to like rotate to see like, okay, well, where am I gonna be? Can't do it.
I can already see myself being very bad in that I would just send everyone just straight up the gut and just like go super aggro.
Well, they do have
Forward.
difficulty settings. In fact, so they have like an easy mode, the default mode, and then they have added a tactician mode for like, hey, are you a fucking tactics pervert? Go hard on this shit. And I'm never gonna do that. I have turned it to easy because I don't want to eat shit on stream.
The strategy games that I like the most, I'm realizing, are all flat. So like Marvel Suns is flat, Into the Breach is flat. And then when I was playing Metal Slug Tactics, that had verticality and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, you threw a wrench in there. And then I'm realizing that, like, no, you idiot. Like, these games have had, like, different terrain levels and verticality and stuff, like, since the dawn of whatever, so.
Yeah, I mean, the flat, like, I understand that it makes it easier and you don't have to think about it that hard, but, it's nice sometimes. And see, like, when you're lower, it's harder. You do less damage. It sucks more. But when you're higher up,
the high ground, Anakin.
Exactly.
But they showed on Mythbusters that isn't necessarily true.
No, I think because I think that, like, people have definitely argued about this on the internet, and it's just like, no, I have an advantage. It's not necessarily that I have the higher ground, meaning like I'm above you and therefore you can't win. It's like, oh, yeah. I'm in a much more advantageous, like a lot more advantageous than you are. If you try to attack me, you're gonna get fucked up. It's less the height and more about I'm in a great position that I can fuck you up. You're like, you can't get to me from here without getting fucked up. And then Anakin jumps and he gets fucked up. I think it's like, bam, story solved.
But as Mythbusters showed when they tested this, it was like a lot of like, well, if you're down low, you can like get their legs easier. You know,
sure,
like,
I don't disagree about like the odds of high and low. I'm saying that in the movie it makes sense.
Yes, movies very famously that make perfect sense.
No, there's a bunch of bullshit in that movie that doesn't make sense. I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense.
Well, yeah, when you're super jumping and flipping around.
Yeah, Anakin's a fucking idiot.
It's also true. He was very
That
vain.
guy
He
sucks.
thought he knew it all. What a hotshot.
The next move is key.
I can be
Jaguars, Panthers.
yeah, like kitties or something. Have this one. Get stabbed.
Someone called Pete.
The other thing is like when people die, it starts a timer, a 3-move timer. And so if you continue playing and if they haven't been rezzed, then they die for realsies. And then they leave like shit you can pick up. So like if you really want the stuff that they have, you kind of have to like kite around the map. I'm not going to do that.
My turn.
So 2 of these are, you see, they're marked as guest. Those are, I don't have control over them. They're like story characters.
Best proceed with caution.
The guy up to the north is like your bestie, and the guy down south is somebody you helped. You found him and he was being fucked up, and you're like, hey dude, like, we'll help. Can't. I'm not in position. Ooh. Ooh, can I move? Well, that sucks. Not in a great position. Eat that.
Retreat!
I'm having a great time. I'm pretty early. I'm not super far into this game. I'm probably like 2 hours in, something like that. Somewhere around there. Good. I think all of the like controls and UI stuff that like they've tweaked, it all makes sense. I know people were saying that Austin Walker was on some podcast really talking it up, and I've not heard those, but I am unsurprised that Austin Walker would be into Final Fantasy Tactics.
But what does Austin Powers think?
It's groovy, baby.
Oh yeah!
I don't think he says, "Oh yeah."
No, that's Mike Myers doing Cat in the Hat.
Oh no, you don't want that.
That's the cat.
You really don't. You really don't want that.
Listen, A Cat in the Hat is a movie that's so bad it's good. It's a very ridiculous guilty pleasure.
Are you sure that it's like it has gone to like the room territory and it's not just suck ass? Because it looks really suck ass.
Listen, I showed my fiance the B movie.
It's time.
I mean,
Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
And there's another one where it's like, I cannot believe they made this for children, because these are not movies for children. You know, like there's like a lot of adult jokes, and it's like unbelievably stupid or like offensive or ridiculous or racy, and it's like, who signed off on literally any of this?
I don't want to climb the tree. That's obviously not what I wanted.
Hit him with the big elbow from the top rope.
That's how that works, right? Oh, right, because it's not working. Ass.
You can't just stab someone with the arrow.
There's also blocking. So like if there's a dude in like your dude in front of you and you're trying to shoot like behind them, it's like, no, dude, there's shit in the way. You can't just you can't shoot an arrow through it, which I feel like many games in this capacity are just like, I don't think about it too hard.
Into the Breach, that is a very big deal. Is like, are my other mechs in the way of their own attacks, kaiju attacks, airplanes bombing, like lava coming up? Like, there's a lot of like friendly fire is like a big thing you have to like constantly think ahead about.
Yeah.
So you might have to undo your turn, or like,
I shall win glory.
They're pretty good. This is pretty good about like, because like obviously you have to like, you can trigger your turn and that's gonna do it, but like you can basically do all your turn out before you hit like go, and then you could back out. Like you're not, once you like move yourself into position and say select your attack, you're not stuck. You didn't stick yourself like, oh, you can't actually move back.
yeah.
Which is good, because this is like a single player game. But fucking let me play around with the movements and see, because it also kind of gives you like, here's what we think the damage you're gonna do. Like it gives you those things. So I think that's good. Like that, it's what you want from a tactics game.
Well, I definitely think that my birthday is in March. I definitely think I want to do a birthday stream, and I would like to show off some strategy games that I adore.
Good.
Forward.
I'm sure by then I will have figured out. Well, no, it's not figuring out. I have streamed before. I've downloaded OBS. I've done live streaming. I don't know if my computer is like at capacity to like pull it off depending on the game, but we'll get there.
I think we should get you an Elgato. You can.
Yeah, I gotta figure that out, because the Elgato would go to the big 80-inch TV I'm looking at over there. But then like, I guess I have the headset and I could go on Discord and I figure it out. What I'm more interested in is telling you stories about famous people. Would you like to hear some?
I would love to hear you talk about famous people. Specifically one famous person, but I won't spoil it.
So, I believe it's the 90s.
Me then.
My father-in-law is a lawyer, and I don't know if it was like a fishing trip or it was like a court case, but he ended up representing a certain actor. And they got to talking, and the famous actor said, "Oh, have you seen any of my big movies?" Two of them happen to start with the letter B, that are very big in the 80s. My father-in-law says, "Oh, no. No, God, no, I would never." No. And immediately this actor was like, "You're my friend, because you haven't seen these giant movies and you don't want to talk my ear off to death about these huge fuck-off movies that I was in."
Which is a huge bummer for me to hear, because I do want to talk to him about the big fuck-off movies.
Hold on. Eventually, in the year 2024, he saw them.
Okay.
But like for the longest time, he was like, "I don't want to see Batman or Beetlejuice."
Once we are clear of
Oh,
the weeds,
I thought you
we
meant
should
Batman
soon
and then Batman Returns.
No, Beetlejuice. That's the other
That's
one.
the other B.
So, the Douglas family, they're family friends. he has like 7 brothers, and they're all really nice. They're sweethearts. So yes, I've met Michael Keaton, and fishing buddies. So, but it's not like he's like always around because he's very busy.
Well,
So
yeah,
he likes his privacy.
because he's Michael Keaton.
Yeah. Likes his privacy, likes to go fishing and just hang out with his grandkids and his kids and like not talk about movies or whatever.
Yeah, I
Just,
get
like,
it.
You know, just like, hey, how are the penguins doing? How are the pirates doing?
How's
How are
the
Steelers doing?
penguin
Like,
doing, Jared?
a Pittsburgh Penguin. He's a sports guy.
But
He's
what?
from
How?
Pittsburgh,
But
so
how
he's
is the penguin doing?
He does not care. Does not care. And so, my at the time girlfriend, she is now going to be my wife. We were watching movies and showing each other movies. I mean, we still do, but in that phase where like,
Understood.
oh, you've never seen X, well, you got to see this. You haven't seen Y, and I was catching up on things that he was in.
I can do this.
So like, I finally saw Mr. Mom and Night
Forward.
Shift and so on and so forth. Multiplicity,
I said I know naught of it.
and she had never seen Porco Rosso.
Oh, it's pretty good.
So the night before we watched it,
Do not speak.
and the first thing she says, other than like, "Hey,
I
how
know
you
what you've
doing?"
done.
You know, big
Where
hug.
is
Because he
Gustav?
grew up like just
I will
thinking like,
have
"Oh
it
yeah,
from
that's
you
that's
one-
Michael." You know.
Mikey.
Oh, we
I
watched
don't know.
Porco Rosso.
What of the
And
Marquis?
he says, "How did you know
Where have
about
you
that?
hidden
Like,
him?
how do all these kids know
Tell
about
me.
this director?" And we're like, "He's like the Walt Disney of
Yeah,
Japan."
it's like, how do you know about the most famous animation guy living?
Well,
Like, it's like the one. He's the one. It's like, how do you know about this Francis Ford Coppola fellow? How have you?
Well, no, well, no, the way he phrased it was like no one knew who he was at the time. He especially didn't know who he was. And now obviously he's bigger, but like he got a call from his
I will
agent. He's like,
not
"Hey, would
ask
you want to do
again.
this like voice work?" He said,
Where
"Yeah,
are
sure."
they?
And Miyazaki called him and they had this nice chat, not really knowing like what was going on or
The
whatever.
desert.
And then find out he's a pig and he's like,
We're in the desert.
Yeah,
Okay.
better a pig than a fascist.
and then does the movie, has a great time, and then doesn't think about it for like 30 years. And then we're like, no, he's like a really big deal with like this generation, like Totoro, and like we're like telling him, and he was just like, oh, like because he doesn't, he's not
The
sticking
Order
around like
Swords.
reading Vanity Fair. Like
My luck
he does
turns
his
foul with
job,
the weather.
he takes it seriously, and then he moves on with his life and doesn't think about it in that kind of
It
way.
seems we did well to
Um,
come here.
Seems healthy.
So he's not just like giving interviews being like, oh, the kids love
No, I get
the
it.
talking pig.
We're like, now that we do the website, I find it much harder to listen to video game podcasts. So, like, I get it. I understand.
But he's like
Have
the
I not
nicest
seen that
guy.
man
And
before?
That's
I think at that
awesome.
point it was
That's-
actually during the strike. So he was telling us like stories
know
about
him,
like what he
don't you?
couldn't do during the strike.
Because he's so fucking good in general, but him as Batman and him as Beetlejuice are just so impactful. And like, obviously not me only, but like for me, yes, big influences.
I have seen his face. I'm sure of it.
He's also so
And,
he's so fucking
Just
good as
after the war's
Beetlejuice.
end.
And that Beetlejuice, the second Beetlejuice one, it's just like when he is on screen, I'm just like, fucking yeah, Beetlejuice. And then he's off the screen and I'm like, this is fine.
That movie is better than it
Yeah,
had
it's
any
fine.
right to be.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But
I thought it
it's-
was gonna be bad, and I
but
was
it,
like, oh no,
no,
this is
it's
not
totally
bad.
okay. I didn't hate it at all. But now that I have seen it, it's like, you want to watch Beetlejuice, or do you just want to watch Beetlejuice? I'm like, oh, I'd much rather watch Beetlejuice, the one movie.
It is the best thing Tim Burton's done in like 20-something
Oh,
years.
for sure,
but it's
for
also-
sure.
You'll pardon me, my
It is also
misgivings.
not Zoolander
But this
2
has
or
not the look of
Anchorman
any
2
joyous-
or Dumb and Dumber 2.
No, it's
or
totally
any of these,
fine.
like legacy sequels that are horseshit.
He also threaded the needle in the, like, he only dated Monica Bellucci for like a couple of years, and he threaded the needle
I just
to get her in, like, oh, we're still dating in like this tiny window, and I'm gonna put her in this Beetlejuice
He
sequel.
commanded the dead men during the war.
Oh, for sure. But
A
he,
company
but
of volunteers
but
assembled from peasants.
Beetlejuice, Keaton as Beetlejuice is just so fucking good, so fucking, and Danny DeVito's in the sequel for some reason.
What?
I mean, because it's like, hey, what are you doing, Danny?
Aye.
It's like, oh, nothing. It's like, hey, you
The
want to like
command-
vomit out like goo and be a janitor? Sure.
My turn.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't, like, I met Kevin Smith twice. I met Kevin Smith twice.
okay.
I think that's it on terms of like movie type or like media type celebrities.
Yeah.
I met iJustine once, noted influence.
Okay.
iJustine. But I've met like every Delaware politician, like just so many of them. If you want to talk about Delaware politicians, I can hook you up. But in terms of
Sleepy Grandpa Joe.
Jill Biden gave the commencement speech for an ex-girlfriend of mine when she graduated. And Joe was supposed to be there. It was while he was still vice president. And that was the week that his mom died. So he did not show.
That makes sense.
But Jill was there because Jill, teacher, and also graduate of UD. So, yeah, of course.
And also a fucking doctor.
Oh, sure. But, yes, from...
Remember that dumb controversy?
Very dumb.
Controversy. Yeah, so there's gonna be several celebs, possibly at this wedding.
I'm now thinking about like how am I supposed to even fucking dress? Am I even gonna be able to afford to dress for this fucking thing?
We will take care of that.
Okay.
As a groomsman, there's like a don't worry, we got you.
Okay. Because I'm like, it just seems fancier and fancier, and I'm like, am I gonna have to take out a loan to fucking dress for this thing?
No. I don't want to give away too many details.
Sure.
On a live stream, but they're discounted rates. We can help people out. You don't have to get us a gift or anything. It's all taken care of. I know that
Me then.
we're good friends with the Brokovs. He is not doing great health-wise, so he will probably not be there. They were also friends with the Buffett family, not Warren, Jimmy. He has passed away, so obviously
it's the better Buffett.
Better Buffett. Yeah, there's just like a lot of famous, rich people who love fishing and are friends of each other. And, Democratic politicians and all sorts of blah blah blahs, and you'd be shocked at who shows up in like you buy a booth at a baseball game. You buy you're in the cool suite. Oh hey, that's Eddie Vedder. Oh hey, that's Tom Morello. Oh hey, that's Huey Lewis. Oh hey, that's Bill Murray, or like people just like show up to things.
Bill Murray won't show up to fucking anything.
But he is at a lot of Cubs games. He does show up to Cubs games because he's a Chicago guy.
I feel stronger.
Is Bill Murray a Chicago guy? I didn't know that.
Well, I think he came from Second City.
I mean, I believe you. I just didn't know that.
Yeah, he was born in Evanston, Illinois. Yeah, he's a Chicago guy.
He seems too aloof for Chicago.
Take this.
You're right, but
Nothing to fear.
I just think there's like such a big comedy scene that came from that place. Like so many people who are not from Chicago who went through and went to Northwestern and like did improv, like Colbert. He's been to Cubs games and he's like he loves that city. But he's not from Chicago.
No, because he's from
Tina
South
Fey,
Carolina, I think.
South Carolina. I mean it happens. People are like, oh wow, this city is like way cooler than whatever dump I'm from. Like, let me live in LA or live in New York or wherever.
No, I had to do. I spent in my early 20s. I had to spend a lot of time in LA, and I was just like, I don't want to fucking live here. This sucks.
Yeah.
And like, there was very much like and then Grant can like move out here if you want, like blah blah blah. Like, as I was working remote and I'm flying out, it's like, and I'm just like, I don't want that. Like, LA is fun to visit. Like, there's a bunch of cool shit in LA. I do not want to live in LA.
Yeah, not gonna catch me dead there. You know what I was surprised by?
What's that?
San Diego might be the most beautiful city in the country.
I mean, I'm not surprised because like you go to like the coasts of LA and it's beautiful. So I'm not surprised that San Diego's really beautiful.
Yeah.
We will
Oh no,
triumph.
like people say that about San Diego because of the weather,
Mhm.
but like being there, like you just see it, like the way like the city's laid out and like
Victory
all the
is
things to
mine.
do, and you're like, oh wow, this kind of like blows LA out of the water. Like, yeah, there's no Academy Awards museum, and there's not like all these like the Hollywood sign and
Leave it
the
to me.
conservatory, but you're like, I could see why they like built like the best zoo here and like SeaWorld. Then it's like,
My turn.
there's some fucking cool shit here.
Yeah. I mean, I have not been to San Diego. I mean, obviously, like the zoo, people like it is like a world class zoo.
It's over.
It's the best zoo I've ever been to, hands down.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
But you know
No,
what?
fine.
Because I live in Delaware.
Onward.
We have a very small zoo here, but we live like relatively close to a bunch of fucking great zoo. The Philadelphia Zoo is great. The Maryland Zoo is great. So like, yeah, I only have like a small zoo, and then so the Salisbury Zoo is a bit south. It's in Maryland, but Eastern Shore, and it's not as big as like the Maryland Zoo or the Philly Zoo, but it's also like a nice zoo. So it's like, yeah, Delaware doesn't really have, we only really have one zoo and it's relatively small, but we live close to great zoos.
Brandywine.
I love the Brandywine Zoo is very small, but I love it.
I just realized you were doing a battle at the start of the stream in like a forest with
Yeah.
hills, and now there's just a bunch of boxes.
Yeah, this is like you're at like a dock. Where's the...
So are you fighting other like famous Final Fantasy enemies, or are they like all
These are
new
just
enemies?
dudes. So we're in Evilise is a setting that like they would then put a bunch of other games in, like other Final Fantasy Tactics games. Final Fantasy 12 is set in Evilise.
Okay. I bet you an MMO might take
No,
or go there.
No. There's stuff in Final Fantasy 14 that definitely like references these games, but it's not set in Evilise.
Is there like one planet in which like all of the different cities from all the different Final Fantasies like take place? Like how does that work?
Nothing like that. They're just separate. They're just separate stories. They're just separate worlds.
Okay, so
There isn't
so
like
if
a
need be,
there isn't
there
like a
could be
metaverse.
multiverse.
I mean, I'm sure that if you played some gacha game somewhere, that there is some horse shit like that.
No, that doesn't count. That doesn't
But
count.
no, they're just different stories. Like they're just different.
Well, I knew there were different stories with different characters.
Yeah, no, there isn't.
then-
It's not. They're not trying to tie all of them together, which is why.
Until Kingdom Hearts, where it's like every Disney movie is its own planet.
Well, but like I think that like that's more fine because it's just like here's bullshit that doesn't matter. Like it's like this like here's Kingdom Hearts doing Kingdom Hearts shit. This has no ramification for anything else. Like
The Little Mermaid planet makes you a sea critter, and the Lion King planet makes you an animal,
and to be clear,
and
I
Mulan planet is China,
I don't say.
and then the Beauty and the Beast planet is France.
I need it.
Yeah, no,
I've got work to do.
I like Kingdom Hearts, but it's not to be taken seriously.
Why was there no Pocahontas planet?
Because Pocahontas is kind of racist.
No, but you would be fighting the white man.
And then they both sides it. They'd somehow make it
No,
the Native Americans' fault.
Heard it all.
no. You would team up with Pocahontas, and you'd fight on the side of the Native Americans.
No mercy.
When I played Kingdom Hearts 3, I had never seen Tangled. And so they basically retell like most of the plot of Tangled, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, this is the most charming shit I've ever seen. And then it's because they just are doing Tangled the movie, but in
Yes.
an engine. But I was just like, this is so delightful, because I had never seen.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
I think they cut out the songs. Obviously, it's a musical, so you're watching them sing or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, that movie is it's good. And so I'm also going to Disney World soon. I've not been to Disney World in like 15 years. So there's all these new things that are a part of newer movies. So when I last went, obviously they had like a Lilo and Stitch ride, but now it's like Splash Mountain is The Princess and the Frog. Now the ride at Norway and Epcot is based around Frozen. I think there's a Tangled thing, but there's also like a Toy Story Land.
Yeah,
So
but it's
Toy Story
but
ride.
I went weirdly like
It's time.
I was there when it went from 2019 into 2020. I was there the that New Year's, and right before COVID. And because my in-laws had asked me and my wife to go, never again. And I witnessed the Toy Story Land, but it's just like everything that I saw was just rides. And like if you like rides, then awesome, like go nuts. But I'm not really a ride person, so it's like these are just rides that have like very light Toy Story theming. And it wasn't like, here's stuff to do. Like, it's just like, you want to ride rides that have the Toy Story characters on it? And I go, no, I don't want that.
Well, I'm gonna see what these Disney World parks are like, because they've like obviously like updated and changed things. Like I remember
Star
there
Wars
being,
Land.
Well, I'll get to that, but like I
Okay.
remember there being like an Ellen DeGeneres Bill Nye ride about like the Earth with like Michael Richards as a caveman, and like they got rid of that, and now it's like
As they
some IP or
should.
whatever.
As they should.
No, I know. And they got rid of like the Great Movie Ride, and like because that had properties from other companies that they don't want to like. So now there's like things like, you know, there's like a Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse like runaway railway like thing in the new style, in the new art style that they have. So I'll encounter all that new stuff, but I also got a large taste of it when I went to Disneyland for the first time ever. And that's where I got to experience Star Wars Land. And those rides are awesome. Those rides are kick-ass because they're all new. And that whole place, it's like, everyone walking around there in character, they're handing you blue milk and green milk, and it's like, this is impressive.
Leave this to
I
me.
didn't really get to do the rides or like the experiences because I was there at like the busiest fucking time of year. And it was like, hey, do you want to wait in line for 4 hours? And I'm like, absolutely the fuck no. I do not want to wait in line for 4 hours. Fuck that shit. So I did get to do the updated Star Tours, which was Star Tours. It's Star Tours, but a few new additions. Yeah, exactly. And it's charming. I rode Star Tours when I was a kid, and I'm like, yes, this is like the movie. It was 40x. It was 40x before 40x.
Pretty much.
And I walked around and like went in and we ate at places, and I had the blue milk and I had the green milk, and I wish it was actually more like milk and less like a milty milkshake, but it's fine.
Well, it has to be non-dairy, and they pick like a soy-based dragon fruit kind of thing.
It's
as
fine.
its
They were
base.
fine. They were fine. The Coca-Colas were shaped like BB-8.
Yeah, droids are around. That Rise of the Resistance ride, like the big ride,
Uh-huh.
that's like the most impressive ride I've ever seen in my life.
I'm sure that it's cool, but I was not going to wait 4 hours in a line.
No one should wait more than 60 minutes for a ride. That's ridiculous.
Not gonna happen.
I would go onto YouTube and you can just watch in 4K, like people go on every single ride at every theme park, and you can basically kind of get the experience, like just watching it.
I
Like,
shall read
Yeah. I've thought
YouTube.
about that before. I actually
Oh, I
covered
would
some
recommend
stuff when
it.
we were at Dig. I would do a couple of videos. Like there was like the Tron cycle ride.
Yeah.
I did. I grabbed some like roller coaster videos were pretty popular.
because people want to know what they're getting into if they're like, oh, I don't want to go upside down, and I don't know if this ride is upside down, or I just want to see the theming because I don't want to wait 5 hours.
Also, Disney keeps getting rid of all their shit, and so like you gotta like try to document it before they throw everything away for some dog shit that nobody will care about. It's the Avatar Land, everybody.
Yeah, so I'm also going to Animal Kingdom, which I've never been to, and that has like Avatar stuff. They're getting rid of the dinosaur section, and
Whack.
they're replacing it with a South America Encanto Indiana Jones thing.
They got rid of the Muppets, which was the only, like, it's one of the only good things that was in fucking MGM or whatever the fuck they call it now. Like,
I always call it MGM. I've been calling it MGM my whole life, and I'm not gonna stop.
But like, whatever the fuck they call it.
It's Hollywood Studios now, but I'm just gonna call it.
But fuck that shit. It's MGM.
It's MGM.
That shit sucks. God damn it. I can't.
Yeah, they well, because Amazon now owns MGM, so like obviously they had to rename it. But,
good. A fake studio becomes even faker.
I was very impressed with Disneyland in like the Cars area. The theming alone was like, this is like the most impressive.
Because that's tiny. Disneyland is tiny. They don't have a ton of space, so they can only have the bangers, right? Because Disney World, they just have a fuckload of space.
It's huge.
So they can just kind of like, this sucks, but whatever, man. Disneyland, it's like, no, we need like top 10 because we do not have the space to do this.
No, but like the car section was the newest, and like that was so impressive, like the way they like built that like fake western town. And the Avengers campus section again was small, but like they really used it all really well. There's like a new Big Hero 6 San Francisco, and that was just food, but it was like the best part of the park. I was like, oh my god, like walking through like San Francisco, and it's like just eating like robot shaped bread and
it's just sushi burritos. Is that what San Francisco is?
I mean, there is that, but there's like more stuff to it.
It's like, what if
really cool.
What if California and Japan?
We know you're.
Well, I mean, that movie is set
with it.
in the mashup of West Coast and
what
You
if
were with your commander, Weegraf, when we came upon you.
And then the Toy Story section was cool, and like the Incredibles coaster was like everything there. I was like, this is like really cool and impressive, but it's not huge. It's not a ton to do, but what is there is really, really, really great.
I mean, that's the best part of the Star Wars land in Disney World was just like, oh, well, just being in this space and seeing like the highly decorated stuff is, and like we went and we ate lunch, and it's like this food kind of sucks, but the place where they're serving it is pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
And like, hey, here's a fucking full-size Millennium Falcon. Like, it's it's fucking cool. And like, listen, like fuck Disney, obviously. Like, I don't give a fuck about that megacorp. But being able to walk up and be like, oh, it's a full-size Millennium Falcon is a cool thing to have.
There is a silver lining to them being a gazillionaire, trillion-dollar corporation or whatever. It's they hire really good people to do really good work, and then I'm assuming they paid them well. So like they got to design a part of Star Wars IRL, and yeah, like the Millennium Ride Falcon itself is fine. Like it's.
Because I think that if I remember correctly, that one. Maybe that one had just opened. It's hard to really fully remember, but I think that might have been the one that was like brand new. And it was just like, yeah, you're not going to be able to get, like, you would have had to have been there like well before it opened to line up to be able to get in a reasonable amount. And it's like, no,
you gotta rope drop it. You gotta get to where the rope is, and when it drops, you.
It could not be me, Jared.
No, I know, but that one is whatever. It's like two people sit in the front of the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, and one goes up and down, and the other one goes left and right. So you're controlling kind of like the Star Toursy box you're in, and then two people are gunners, so they get to like shoot TIE fighters, and then there's like two other people who just hit glowing buttons, and that's like where you put your kids because you don't do anything. That one's whatever. That one's it's good. It's not amazing. The Rise of the Resistance one that one was unbelievable because you start and you board a ship, and then like a character actor is doing a play, and then you like enter through like you're in like the Death Star, and you're like walking through, and it's like part of the ride. And then when you sit, it takes you through like the movie, and there's like people and animatronics, and it's like unbelievable.
No, the Marquis's kidnapping was.
And we've come a long way from, hey, the Dumbos go up and down, and the magic carpets go up and down.
I will say, I think the thing, like, I'm not really a theme park person. Like, it's not like, obviously, two of our coworkers are enormous theme park person, like 10 out of 10 theme park people. I'm not really that, but I think that like the way that Disney, I think they take it too far. But I think like thinking about like, oh well, we don't want this stuff to be in like the line of sight. Like we don't want you to be in Star Wars land and then you just look and you see other bullshit. Like that's nice.
Sightlines,
like that stuff's
visual
good.
designing,
like that's thoughtful engineering. And I think that they're way too crazy about it, where it's like we can't break character. Like it's like chill out. Like we can't see them ever go to the bathroom, and it's like no. Like you're being outrageous. Thinking about thought, like sightlines and that stuff is like good and thoughtful. Take it down like 3 or 4 notches.
What?
They won't.
I want to see Donald Duck piss. He doesn't
He
have
would
pants
never.
on.
Then
Where
who
is his
was it?
corkscrew dick?
Someone kidnapped the Marquis.
Guess to tuck it inside.
Why is Goofy a
Speak.
talking dog and Pluto is a regular
If not
dog?
you, then on whom would you pin
He's
this?
Answer that.
a funny animal, I think is what they call it.
It was Gustav.
Well, here's the thing.
Who is Goofy's wife who gave birth to Max?
Who's Gustav?
The era that you and I grew up in,
Gustav and
cable
Margaret,
just had like
Lieutenant
they
Commander
didn't
of
they
the
weren't
Brigade.
making like a lot of new
So the
programming,
Corpse
so they just
Brigade
ran a
was
bunch of
behind
old
the
shit.
kidnapping.
And so like I've seen dozens, if not hundreds, of hours of like old Mickey Mouse cartoon, like just so many of them. And the same thing with like
Looney Tunes,
Honey, yeah, Hanna-Barbera, like just like so much of it, and that's one of the things that is like it feels like is getting lost with people who are like, let's say 10 years younger, where it's just like, why would they ever watch that? There's no reason for them to. There's new stuff that is made that has been like market tested specifically for them, that is being promoted to them, be it YouTube or Netflix or whatever. Like they would never see like 1970s Scooby-Doo. Why would I watch that when new dog shit Scooby-Doo is being made?
Gustav.
Not even that. I remember
Sandra.
babysitting a 4 or 5-year-old several years ago.
You and
who was a
of
neighbor.
Gallion. Small
And,
wonder you've not heard of them.
We were out.
Sandra
going somewhere,
are unique to the Zeklaus
and
desert.
Your point being?
I think it was like there was
Do any villages lie in
Scooby-Doo.
the desert?
Villages?
Some advertising had
At least
Scooby-Doo.
Not
Then
And
that's
I
where
was
we'll
like,
find
oh, like,
Gustav and the Marquis.
Have you ever seen Scooby-Doo? And she's like, I don't know who that is. And like some
Aye.
guy walking by is
Like
like,
as not.
these damn kids don't know about Scooby-Doo. Like watching
How
Paw
can you be so
Patrol and
certain?
Peppa Pig, they don't understand, man. And it's like, yeah,
Siege
why
is a
would she ever
Sandra's
see that?
borrow.
Like,
Well, they
she would
do
only
make
see, like-
they keep rebooting things like Scooby-Doo, and like it's like every 4 years, like on the dot, they reboot the Ninja Turtles. Like there's a new Ninja Turtles every like hey, did a whole group of people graduate from high school? Great. Throw their turtles all the way the fuck out. New turtles.
But they haven't like rebooted like Flintstones or the Jetsons, and like those are still in popular culture. They're on cereal boxes. They're in medicine. They're like,
Yeah, but I just feel like they're way harder because they're like parodying like sitcom tropes
yeah.
from the fucking like 50s. Like there's like vaudeville shit in there, and I like I've been exposed to vaudeville type shit because I watch a bunch of old shit. But like a kid today, what the fuck do they care about? Like, hey, let's parody a vaudeville bit.
The Honeymooners. No, but like you could have a place for a kids cartoon that is like cave people with dinosaurs or the future.
Oh yeah, you can do. You could
settings,
make
yeah.
a new thing and call it the Flintstones for sure. You could do that.
Oh yeah.
They did that. Like they
The movies.
Yeah, the movies. John Goodman, Rosie O'Donnell.
John Goodman. Stephen Baldwin.
What the fuck?
Halle Berry.
Kyle MacLachlan is the like, boss around.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But then they changed casts. So the first one,
Leave this to me.
Rick Moranis, Elizabeth Perkins,
I can do
Elizabeth
this.
Taylor, and then they made a sequel,
Forward.
Viva Rock Vegas, and that had
Then you've heard about the Order.
Kristen
They want to finish
Johnston,
us this time.
Jane Krakowski, Mark Addy, Joan Collins, Alan Cumming.
These are much less famous people. These are
what's to become of
significantly less famous people.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Jane Krakowski is probably okay known now, but definitely not then.
I say we forget this business and run. There's naught for it.
Like Rosie O'Donnell and John
So far,
Goodman,
Winograd feel
that
like
is like
it's only to
you
our
are
graves.
crushing it. You're like I don't think that movie's great, but like you are crushing that casting. The casting director has to be like, all right, bonus time, gentlemen.
There is now going to be an Oscar for best
God's
casting,
willing.
and
Gustav's
Good!
man, oh man.
Marquis will fatten our purses enough.
Well, yeah,
that we can-
finally, because like a casting director is like an integral part of
Yeah.
the process.
They're here.
In the same way that like they're going to give like a best stunt, stunt performer, stunt team, or whatever, but like for
We
stunt
must
coordinators.
silence this watch before they
But
can
in
raise
that
the alarm.
year, it wouldn't have gone to the Flintstones. It would have gone to whatever fucking prestige picture is now like
Probably.
outdated. And
It is a little
frowned
tough because
upon.
that you can easily turn that into like what movies had the largest budget, and that sucks.
Not even that. It would go to Forrest Gump because it had the most famous people in the most roles.
Yeah,
Like, that's
that,
what it would be.
That sucks. But like, hey, like sometimes you can have really well-known people. Like that's fine. It isn't the fact that like you cast a famous person that it makes it bad. But it's like, oh man, you had a vision here. You saw what this could be, and you found exactly the right people to deliver this thing. Or you found like,
Come on.
it's easy to forget. Heath Ledger cast as the Joker. People were like, fart noise.
Yeah, people were out of their minds. They were out of their skulls.
They hated before they saw it and before he died, obviously. People hated it.
Yeah.
But then you see it and you're like, oh, well, you did a great job. Well, you did a great job. Okay, never mind. We were wrong.
And they recasted Rachel too. They got rid of Holmes and they put in Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Who I think both of them just don't do very much in those movies. Like they don't give them much to do. I also don't think Batman needs more like emotional draw. Like he already has like a reason for doing the shit that he does. A raison d'etre, if you will.
Well, listen, as much as we appreciate the weird character actors that the Coen brothers put in their movies that are perfect, like just the faces and the types of people that you like never would like they handle real life sort of normie people in the greatest way. Or Scott Pilgrim having like all these famous stars before they became famous, like Chris Evans before he blew up, and Brie Larson before she blew up, and Aubrey Plaza as she was on her ascent, and Michael Cera at the perfect time, and Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and like that movie has 1,000 famous people who are now amazing.
When I was telling a coworker about Batman, she was like, "What celebrities have you met?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess Kevin Smith, and then a politician." Aubrey Plaza. I went to camp with Aubrey Plaza, but she obviously was not. She was not famous at the time. But we went to the same 4-H camp.
Having interned at SiriusXM for Howard Stern and working at AOL where they were doing like Huffington Post Live with like a red carpet and like pretty much anyone who was doing press for anything would come in through the door, I have met a really long list of famous people. Even working at like Vice, people would like who were famous would come.
Never saw this coming.
My boss, I worked at a genealogy company, was David Sachs, noted now right-wing loon. Best friend of fucking Peter Thiel. That piece of shit. That piece of shit. I met him one time. I met David Sachs one time for like 30 seconds.
Do you want me to rattle off all the famous people who I have met?
Only give me 3 and make them the best ones.
I had a nice few-minute chat with Jeff Goldblum.
Seems like it would be a fun one.
Charming, fun, just gracious. I got to talk to Adam Savage of Mythbusters. I got to interview him.
Seems fun.
Unbelievable guy. And I got to ask not John Waters, Roger Waters a question.
That's less good than John Waters.
I don't know, man. Pink Floyd's my favorite band, so like being able to talk to him, I made him laugh.
Sure.
That was a great feeling.
But John Waters,
And-
though.
No, I know. But the person before me asked a question and he tore into that guy. Like, fucking destroyed him. It was like, what a stupid question. Like, just went off. And I was like, oh my god, I'm next. And then I made him laugh. So it was a great feeling to have not bombed with like a very salty.
People are
Garage
so
band.
bad at, like, it's why I hate Q&A stuff, is because people ask the worst fucking question.
No, they really do.
And like, you can ask very mediocre questions and you're not gonna make but if you do it correctly, you're not gonna make people groan. If like, be short, like, have a specific thing, just be like, hey,
One question,
yes, exactly.
one.
Hey, you did this and this. What is the blah blah blah? And then like, and you're done. Then even if it's mediocre and they don't give like a great answer, people aren't gonna be like, this fucking asshole.
More of a comment than a question.
Yeah, that shit sucks.
It's mostly at Comic-Con though. Like Comic-Con, people who walk down the aisle, or at like BlizzCon or any of these cons, like that's where you get the really bad shit. But usually press junkets, it's not that.
Like, so I think that like there's some specific like Adam Savage would be great because like I would want to hear him tell me stuff about like making models for the Matrix, like, or the Matrix sequels. Like, yeah, like I would love to hear. Although I guess you could just go to his fucking YouTube video. Like, I'm sure he's talked about it. So it's
people
like
submit questions to him on YouTube.
So it's like, but like most of the time, even if it's somebody I really appreciate, like if David Lynch hadn't died, and you're like, okay, Grant, you're gonna be able to ask David Lynch a question. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna ask David Lynch? Like, I don't have anything to ask him. Like, hey,
explain your movies, sir.
Good job, David Lynch. Good job. Like, I don't have any questions for him. What is it
These
like
people
to work
have-
with X Famo or whatever? Like, who cares? Who gives a shit?
Katie got to meet Steven Schwartz, who did Wicked, and she's probably like the 1 millionth person to say like your work means so much to me, and I've seen your stuff so many times, and he's probably heard that like so many fucking times. But I like when I went up to him and I was like, hey, you bastard, like there's one song from Pippin that's stuck in my head. And he's like, you poor
I've learned a
man.
great deal.
I was like, yeah, you did that to me. You know, like that interaction he has not gotten. He was like, why would you get that song stuck in your head? He's like, well, I feel so bad for you. I'm like, I don't know, but you better fix it because it's up here.
Yeah, I think most of the time, unless it's like, I hear stories from people who've like made cool stuff. Like, I get that. I understand it. But like, most of the time I don't have questions for people. Or like, it would have to be like a more in-depth interview. Like, it would have to be like, okay, tell me about the thing you just made, blah, 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 blah. Or like, there's like a peg to it. Like,
It's time.
tell me about this thing. Or like the one thing that people talk about with David Lynch is like, yeah, if you ask him about fucking meditation, then like, yeah, he's gonna have a lot of fucking shit to say to you. If you ask him about movies, he's gonna be like more evasive.
I bumped into Pharrell in his big hat in the kitchen at AOL once.
I don't know if there is a more impactful musician in our lifetime.
I mean, define our lifetime.
I guess like since our birth. Like the music made since our birth. Like Pharrell, if you go and look at like the shit that he has produced, it's wild. And do you know that Timbaland is his cousin? They are cousins. Pharrell and Timbaland are cousins.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not dismissing that he is up
I shall
there.
win.
Wildly
But
impactful.
since our birth, there's gotta be more influential people, no?
I mean, I think he has to be in the conversation.
Just
He's in the
try and
conversation.
Stop me.
Pharrell, like, there's a bunch of fucking songs that he made, and they are wildly popular. And Timbaland is like,
Oh yeah.
responsible for like huge movements
So
in like all of hip hop, like wildly
Oh, yeah.
wild, like all like him and Missy Elliott, like wildly influential.
Yep. Those Missy Elliott music videos on MTV. Yeah. I don't know. We were alive when Michael Jackson and Prince were alive.
But they weren't pumping out like their best work.
No, I know.
And like Stevie Wonder, like I would say Stevie Wonder is probably like the single like
I'll give my all.
like best or like most influential, most important American musician.
Genius.
But
like his stuff was 67.
But right, like exactly. So it's like, yeah, I'm sure he made a song or whatever when
Wild Wild West. He took his old song and made the lyrics different. So for Will Smith. I mean, we were alive when grunge was alive, and then grunge shot itself in the face with a shotgun.
What should
Rick Rubin count? Because Rick Rubin is.
I guess, but he's like, do it gooder.
Yeah.
his shtick is like, vibe harder. What if it was like more like ba da ba da ba? Like he's not a musician.
We're gonna wrap, but
Okay.
that fucking 60 Minutes interview where they're like, you don't play any instruments, you haven't made any songs, like you don't do anything. Like, why do people keep hiring you? He's like, people find that they're more creative when I'm sitting on their couch. And it's like, you're a billionaire and you like work with everyone.
I mean, the reality is like he like founded like the fucking record label. Like,
no, I know.
So it's like that's why. Like, oh, you're like a rich, powerful guy. Weird. People are interested.
No, but like people swear by it. Like metal bands, like rappers, like everyone works with him, and they're like, he's the best.
Yeah, being around rich, powerful people weirdly influences your album. Jared, any cool stuff that you wanna give a shout out?
I have an article on Smash Brothers that I like doing. I have the most fuckable NBA mascots ranked. I'm probably gonna write about Ghost of Yote, which I have very strong thoughts on, but I will not share those thoughts until later.
Yeah. I did a review of Blippo Plus, a game that we had briefly covered last week. Podcast. We do a podcast, Video Game Town Hall. You can check that out on pretty much any podcatcher of your choice: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, etc., etc., etc. Check all that stuff out, and of course, videogame.town. That's the home of all of our cool stuff. All right, Jared, it's time to go. It's time to enjoy the rest of our Friday, and then enjoy our weekend.
This was fun.
It was fun.
We should do it again next week at the same time.
Yeah, hell yeah, absolutely. All right, everybody.